Hello, it's Wednesday, the 24th of July, the year of our Lord, 2024. Shit's got real. Excuse my language, but it's warranted over in Leeds. Well, and the rest of the country, but Leeds kicked off. Who else do we talk to? Jason, what the hell's going
Well,
on?
it's a strange old world, isn't it? Really. And as predicted, what myself, yourself, and a lot of people have said over the years is coming into fruition, and we're now seeing this immigration problem that we've got becoming a major problem. Now, a lot of people have seen or heard of what's happened in Leeds with this Romanian family. Now, as it happens, I'll give
Well, let's, for
people,
those who don't know the
yeah,
background, Jace,
I'll give them a little bit of an
because
heads up.
I'm green on it. So what you just tell us how this all started, or what you've picked up on how all this started.
Well, it started as a normal weekday afternoon, one day last week, um, and people get on about their lives as they normally do. But one certain family had an incident with a child and I've seen stories and accounts from people that have been on the streets. But the overview is basically a child's been dropped. The parents are blind drunk. The child's gone to hospital with damage, trauma to the head, and the social services have been called. Now it's a Romanian family this has happened to. So it's all around immigration, and these people are not of this country. They've come to this country. Now it's all kicked off because the social services and the police have turned up. So all the locals that are probably not Romanian as well, from all different ethnic backgrounds. The area that it is hails is let's say multicultural at the least. But it's all kicked off, and the police have turned up, and they've turned up in the riot gear, and buses have been set on fire, police cars have been turned over, bins and all sorts of stuff have been set on fire, and it's gone on for 2 days. Now, people have been out there trying to stop it. Fair play to the councillor of Gipton and Ariels, Councillor Alex. He's been out there trying to sort of say to people, listen, this is your own back garden. What are you people doing? Are you stupid or what? But these people are relentless. Now, since all this has sort of kicked off, and it has calmed down over the last couple of days, but what a lot of people are not mentioning or pointing out that this poor little baby's died over the last couple of days from the trauma to the head. Now, it's not the first case that this has happened. The first time that this family's been involved with social services, there's a family history, as there usually is in a lot of these cases. So it's all kicked off, and it's disgusting, really. I mean, you've got the surrounding areas, and they're all meeting now. People are starting to come together, and people are starting to gather in the surrounding areas of where this has happened, and they're starting to talk. Is that people are a little, and I'm definitely pissed off what's happened. I've lived in Leeds all my life, and I've loved the area. I mean, the place where it's happened was a very, when I grew up, was a lovely area. It was full of a lot of Irish and a lot of Polish. And you could walk down the streets, and the gardens were nice, and the streets were kept clean, and it was a lovely area. But since then, we've just had this multicultural explosion of everything, that's in there. You go through Harold's now, and it's not like walking in England. You are not in England. It's a completely different world. It's just completely. You've got Romanians, you've got Indians, you've got Muslims, you've got people from the Middle East, Ukraine, Kazakhstan,
Yeah.
Syria, Nigeria. People from all over the world are just thrown into this area called Harold's, and it's the same up top of
Well, it's
East.
more and more areas,
Well,
Jason. It's
it
more and
is,
more
yeah.
areas. It's just not that. I mean, I just want to touch. There was a video that I sent to you of a grandma who'd gone outside because all sorts of stuff was kicking off outside her house, and she got arrested.
That's right. Now she was at one of the protests in Gipton. I think it was Gipton. It looked, judging by where they were stood, they were on a roundabout up in Gipton, and she was sort of having a little talk to the locals there about it. And again, I've seen other people, videos of other people coming out, kicking off with the noise, and they've been arrested. It's like, wow, hang on a minute, you're letting this go on now. The question you got to ask yourself is, a lot of people on social media are saying, "Oh, it's all designed." Of course, it's all designed for this division, for this insurgent, for this civil action that they want to kick off. It's all designed that way. But in this incident, it is a genuine incident. These people, this family, father blind drunk all the time, have neglected this child, and now this poor child's not here.
Yeah.
So it is something that does need looking at, and in certain cases, these children do need taken away from the parents. I can agree on that. I've seen it myself in my own family. So I know that sometimes they are there for the good. However, in this case, it's just escalated, and the police have just completely backed out. I mean, I've seen videos of the police running away from the gang, and this is supposed to be
No,
riot
the
police.
parents been arrested. The parents been arrested.
I don't know. I don't know. I think a lot's been kept close to the chest now. Not a lot, because obviously what's happened, not much information is coming out. But you have people that were stood. I've watched videos of people stood there defending the family, and then 3 minutes later, I've seen him in another video watching somebody set fire to a bus. So it's like, well, you've got to take with a pinch of salt what's being said on the ground, because obviously they're going to favour the family. These are people that are against this system, and obviously, again, ethnically different to the locals. I would say is probably the best way to put it without getting myself into trouble.
But you shouldn't have to watch it. This is our country, Jason, and they have different ways of lives.
And let me just
they should not be here.
Yeah, another way of life. Not yesterday, the day before, up in an area not too far away from where I live, a young Nigerian, African descent man, not sure, Somalia or somewhere like that, has been caught, Lou. Check this out. Going into people's back gardens, telling children, putting their arms around them, calling them sinners, trying to climb into people's houses through the fucking drain pipes. Now, this is what the government have allowed to come into this country, and I'm not kidding you. This is very serious. This is less than 5 miles away from where I live.
This person was demonically possessed.
If you go onto my Facebook and have a look at the picture of the man,
well, we'll add it to this video. We'll add it to the video.
I mean, the man. What people don't understand is, okay, we are quite lucky in this country with the way of life that we've been given. We've had peace for as long as we've known, since the wars, okay? But even round about that time, we've still been lucky in this country. We've not been in a third world situation, which is coming, by the way. That's coming very shortly. They want Europe as a third world nation. Why? Because they're sending the frigging third world here. But what you've got to understand is that these people come from situations where they've seen the most heinous of crimes, probably participated in the most heinous of crimes, brutal things that these people have been involved with, and they are walking into this country willy-nilly without any opposition, being paid for to come here by our government. These people have not come off their own steam because they want to get out of their country because it's horrible. How can they afford to get across all these multiple countries and get here?
Exactly.
And they're being paid for. These people have got European Union cards that they have got credits put on that they can use in all these countries to get here. So it's not that these people...
And look at London. Look at our capital city. Well, look at every borough council is run... It isn't run. Every borough council up there is run by Muslims. We have got about 28% English left in London. It is killing fields. People are just walking into shops and picking up shelves of products and walking out, and the staff can't do anything about it.
Well,
and you see a bloke, these group of gangs. I just saw it just now. A bloke's in a shopping centre, English guy. A gang go to grab his mobile phone. He goes to grab it back. They've got this guy on the floor, this mob of people beating this guy, and everyone's just standing around, and security are just standing there.
Wow. What were you letting happen to this country? It's ridiculous. You've watched many videos, and
now have you heard they're not? The boat. The Bibby boat. They've cancelled it. Starmer's cancelled that contract. So all of the people, those criminals who are on that boat, on the shores of Dorset, are going to be let out into the British community.
Well, again, people are, we've got a new Prime Minister, and it's just part of the problem. It's part of the same.
It's just another puppet.
It's just another puppet. Now, everybody's going to forget about Rishi. Everybody's going to forget about Boris. Everybody's going to forget about David and Co, etc., etc.
I don't think so. I think Judgment Day's coming for them. I think Judgment Day's coming. We can see God is moving in this world.
I'd like to think it is, Lou, but I'm still watching people post things on Facebook about demonic evil possessions trying to kidnap children out of back gardens. So I'm like,
Yeah.
well, okay, if you're gonna pull your hand and you're gonna, pull your card out and play your hand, you need to be doing it a long time ago. I think it's the only
No,
moves
so
that God's got.
we've been given free
We,
will.
we need, we
Satan
need,
is
yeah.
on this earth. We've allowed it to happen.
Well, I'm not. I won't go into it. But my point of view is, is if this stuff is still happening, nobody's coming to save us. We've got to do this. We've got to stop these people. We've got to get these people out of this country. Because if we do not get these people out of this country, in 10 years' time, this will be worse than a third world country. This will be worse than any country in Africa that's under suppression. And it will be worse, and we will be the minority in this country. We will be the slaves, and we will be the ones that will be under oppression. Nobody else from this country. So the people of this country need to get up off their knees, stand and fight for their future generations, for the futures of their children and their children's children and their children's children, just like our forefathers fought for us in the Great Wars. So it was a lie that they fought for, but they was fighting for our futures. So now we're at a pivotal point, Lou, where nobody's coming to save us unless we save ourselves. And I'm sorry, a lot of people are waiting for this saviour to turn up, and he ain't turned up over 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, thousands of years, hundreds of years. In the
Yes.
meanwhile, bloodshed is happening on this planet, yeah, or this plane, or this flat, whatever it is you want to argue or contest.
Because
The
we've lost
fact of the
our
matter,
way. We've lost
well,
our
we need to
way.
find
God
our
is
way.
moving in this world at the moment, and we've got to pray. And people do need to stand up. You're completely right, but He will look after His children. But we have to pray. We
Well,
have to put our faith in Him.
we
We
need.
really do. Look at what's going on. You can see Him moving. You can see what the
Well,
prophets are
Lou,
saying, and the
I'm,
prophecies are coming true.
well, again, I'm not into a book that people, that write, and again, I'm looking at the world and our history, and I'm looking at thousands of years of blood. And
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anybody coming to save us, and I'm not seeing anybody making any moves. What I am seeing is people like myself and yourself wanting to stand up and do something about it, but we
Yeah.
haven't got a clue on how to do something about it or where to start. I'm
And
seeing
that's where we
lots
need
of,
prayer. That's
and
why we need prayer at this
we need
moment. I
cohesion.
do believe
We,
that.
we need organisation and cohesion, because these
We
motherfuckers are
do.
organised. And their cohesion and their plan's been running for a long, 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 long time, for many, many thousands of years, if you want to go back all the way to where they want to take us. But we need to start building a people's defence. And the men and women of this country need to start pulling
Yes.
together for their children's sake. Because I'm seeing less than 4 miles away people getting caught. Immigrants that have come from third world countries that have seen the most heinous of crimes going into people's
Yeah.
back gardens trying to steal fucking children. And who
Yeah.
would
And
have
look,
known it
and
would have
Ireland are
happened?
suffering the same.
Well,
Ireland
what's
are
the video in
suffering the
Ireland?
same.
Women in a council building, man stood there, I kill your children, I kill your father, I rape you all, I rape you all. Now, luckily enough, these women are behind big glass screens. But this is what we're having to put up with, and people don't understand this. And people are, yeah, but Britain's Got Talent, it's got on, football's on, Olympics next. People need to wake up and see what's happening to their children and what's going to be happening in the future. And it's getting worse and worse and worse by the
Amen.
day. Yeah. And it's
Amen.
now 4 miles away from me, this is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people wonder why I look at these people with intent when I'm walking down the street or driving. Why do you look at them? I'm actually, I don't trust these people. Look at his eyes. Look how evil that man is. Yeah. That's walking down that street. That is not a man. That is a monster. Look at it. And people don't get that. Now, I'm not saying every single one of them is, because I know some people that have come to this country with genuine reasons that are lovely, nice-natured human beings that would do anything for anybody and share the last meal with you. But these men that are coming on these boats are a different kettle of fish
There's no
altogether.
families. There's no families, and there is
These
no
people
families.
are monsters. And if we don't do something
Yeah.
about it, lo and behold, what we're allowing.
Amen. Jason, thank you for that. We're going to kind of try and do more of these little 10-minute bulletins here and there when big news breaks. As I say, we have been off for 10 days, but we are back. libertytactics.co.uk. You can find all the videos that Jason makes over on our TikTok, Liberty Tactics. We're on Facebook and all other platforms. And we'll be back on Friday with the news, but we will have some more updates coming probably later today and tomorrow. God bless.